The Battle of Bedford is in the books. It was our third playtest of my rules, The Gathering of the Clans, and I think we've got it just about where we really like it. My two players, former students of mine, really enjoyed the game so much so that the next time we were able to get together, that's what they want to do. We got 8 turns in, and it was a bloody contest. The Scots' objective was to basically, Bedford is a town in northern England, just north of Newcastle, and so the scenario was that Bonnie Prince Charlie had assembled his army, and including a full brigade of Irish pickets, Irish geese, and was going to invade. But the time it took him to gather his forces also allowed General Hawley to assemble quite a force and engage him near the town of Bedford. So that's Bedford over here on the right. And so the government forces started with 4 of their brigades on the table, with 2 arriving later. The Bonnie Prince had 2 on the table, with 3, with 4 more joining as the battle progressed. Here in the center, you can see, was a hotly contested. There was a front line of one government brigade, but it was destroyed by a series of Highland charges, which were very successful. So the Highlanders have +2 to their charge bonus, which makes them almost unstoppable. However, when they got to the second line, the British musketry just literally mowed them down. And so both brigades were picked up because of morale checks at the end of it and stuff. Then over on this flank, another Highland charge was very successful initially, but then as the British line shook out into, was deployed, their musketry took out a lot of the Highlanders, and so they were able to secure that flank. The final throws of the game were the French brigade with 5 regiments engaged the last line and tried desperately to break through. They came closest here in the extreme center, but we played it out to the very end, and those British battalions were able to hold and stop the advance. There were 3 Highland brigades, and all 3 of them, by the end of the game, had fled, were picked up because of a high number of casualties. The government cavalry was very strategic in basically holding the line while a second line of infantry was able to form, but they too were picked up. Then over on this flank, the Scottish cavalry engaged that militia brigade, which is in the rear there, and were initially successful. They added their general to one of the regiments and was able to break through, but because the Scottish cavalry regiments were so small, even just a couple casualties made them, reduced them down to worn and even wavering, and so they had to pull back as well. So very close run thing. Lots of casualties, lots of fun. It's a card-driven game, so each brigade has a card, and the guys really like that you never know who's going to get to go first, and that the order of the cards coming up played a significant factor. Another thing, much like in Hail Caesar or Black Powder, you have to roll for activation, and kind of like Sharp Practice, to see how many activations you get. So that was also a determining factor in whether you got 1, 2, or 3, how far you could charge, or if you could fire and reload. And there were occasions where the British got 3 activations, they could fire, reload, and then fire again. So with their positive modifiers for shooting, that helped them out a lot. But these are the lowlanders that were basically all that was left in the center. The French guns didn't get really close enough to do much damage, but they look nice. And there's the Bonnie Prince, just hoping against hope that his French mercenaries could burst through, but they were not able to do so. So we declared it a British victory only because they held the line barely, and then the number of casualties that the Bonnie Prince suffered would have made any further excursion into England foolhardy. So great game, great fun, and so that's it for this time around. But any comments, questions you have, would love to hear them. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you like the video, please like it, and we'll catch you next time. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.